Good morning, geeks and gamers. We're here. We're live. We're ready to go. Geeks and Gamers Daily. Ryan and Jay back in the saddle again. Yeehaw. What's up, Jay?
It's a Thursday. That's all I got. That's all I got. I had a whole day off to think about my intro and
2 days off.
Yeah. Well, one I spent in the car, but yeah, I guess.
I had 2 days to think about the intro, and that's I didn't even think about it at all. I just went. I just started saying things.
You did give a yeehaw though, but
I
so
did.
that threw me off big time. It threw me off. And then
After I said back in this saddle again, I figured a yeehaw was like appropriate.
I was telling Ryan before the show, I was like, my windshield is cracked, and tomorrow they're supposed to be coming to my house to.
Yeah, Jay was already trying to get out of it. He was trying to get out of his appearance tomorrow too. Like I could 100% tell he's like throwing it out there to be like, if you need some, might be easy to replace me because I don't know. I might have to step out for a few minutes. And I'm like, no, it'll be fine. Just step out.
You just find something. You a warning. But the thing is, it's like you call these people, and I said, all right, when can you guys come? They're like, we can come on Friday. I was like, perfect. I was like, and then you wait for the time bracket, like when they come to install your internet. It's from 2 to 4, no problem. They say it's going to be from 8 a.m. to 4, so be ready. I'm like, 8's us like all day, and I know it. I know without a shadow of a doubt. I know they're going to come while I'm in this show, like doing daily. I know it. I know they'll pick that 1 hour window where I'm on daily. If they come during my morning show, it's different. I could just put it on pause and walk. That's not like, it's not G&G. It's not thousands of people watching, stuff like that. Even though I hope they don't come during the morning show. But I just have a feeling. I told Ryan, I was like, knowing my luck, they're going to show up right like at 11:15, 11:30. However, the only thing I think I know what to do is just run down there and be like, you guys good? Need a key? I don't know. And then I could run right back up. And you'll see me huffing and puffing just for like that 5 seconds of panic. So,
yeah, I think that probably what'll happen, it'll be right after you're set to introduce some theme park story that you want to clip over on Park Hoppin' so people can hate me. And then as soon as you're like ready to go, they'll come then. And I'll just be like, well, here we go.
And it's not a daily without this Jay guy showing up and calling me retarded, fat. I wish he wasn't on the show. I like Ryan. I hate Jay. It's poetic, Jay. So here's your flowers. I finally highlighted your comment. Keep it coming.
How do you know he wasn't talking about me?
He's talking about me 100%. I've been monitoring the situation for some time.
Jay's got a list.
There he goes. Like that. Thank you. I love you, Jay. Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming.
Jay's got a detractor list. Keenan with some questions for us. Ever play the video game Pac-Man World?
I think I might have.
What's Pac-Man World? I've played a couple, obviously a couple different iterations of Pac-Man over my life, but Pac-Man World, what is that? It's like a 3D thing.
I think it's like Pac-Man, but it takes you through the different genre areas. So yeah, it's like probably more like a 3D. Like it's hard to explain. You have like normal Pac-Man, then you got Miss Pac-Man. And then Pac-Man World was like, I think it was PlayStation 1. It might have been the 3D thing. Yeah, it might have been it. Yeah, I think you had it correct.
I don't think I've ever played it. I was quite literally just guessing because of the world aspect. So the idea that you could, like, if there was a world that you could move around in, there is a like really dumb children's Pac-Man cartoon with a bunch of different characters. It's
Did that come out on like Saturday? Was that Saturday morning cartoons? I don't remember.
It's a fairly recent one within the last like 10 years type.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that.
Keenan Endenu, ever play the video game Chameleon Twist?
No.
I don't think so. Ever play the video game Glover? Any good?
Boy.
Glover.
Keenan, you coming in with the tough questions, man. I've never heard of that in my life. Maybe someone in the chat has. I'm not sure.
Keenan had a list like boom, boom, boom. I need the answers to these questions.
He's ready. Where do you find these games, Keenan? I appreciate it.
Alex McCarthy, S tier returns, Meta PC, Code RK Outpost,
Hold
or
on.
Drunk 3PO.
I got to stop you right there, Ryan. For some strange reason, I had Daily up yesterday while I was doing some vacuuming or something. And Alex McCarthy sent the same super chat to those people. It's finally good. So he said something along the lines of, we finally got the S tier on Daily with the Meta PC code.
Really?
I was a little hurt. I didn't say anything. I was like letting it slide. The guy's in a wheelchair. I just let it slide. But you know, sometimes I know we say we don't. I don't tune in often when I'm not on. But that's all I'm saying, Alex. I was a little hurt. Alex.
Yeah, you know what that does? Like it, it gets me go every morning. I know that Alex is gonna be, he's gonna be putting us over, man. Make sure we feel good. Now I hear that he's saying the same thing to Jeremy.
I know. I was a little rough. A little rough.
Blue-eyed Scorpio for 2. Jay's an author terrorist that enforces Sahara law. What's that about?
It's too long of a story. Happened this morning. I don't know. Somehow I got mixed up in calling it Sahara
instead of Sharia law.
Instead of Sharia law. Yeah, one of those things. So
Sahara law just means it's hot, man.
Yeah, something like that.
Like a desert out here. Chris Coran for 2. Jay should have talked to Jake personally. From State Farm? Is that what that would mean? Is that a State Farm
is
joke?
State Farm my insurance? Or do I have like one of them like Walmart brands? Cheap as possible.
Andre CR for 5,000. Jay, did you check locals? I found your secret Reddit account.
Good God. The last thing I want to see is what people are saying about me on Reddit. No. Can't imagine.
Every once in a while, it randomly logs me out. Like, even though I'm set up, I'm ready to go, it like logs me out of locals. I have to fucking log back in to get to this thing. Here we go. Open it up. All right. We're back to good over on locals. I could see locals again. Paper Liger. Last time I scheduled a Safe Light windshield replacement, they never showed up.
Yeah, maybe they won't.
That'd be messed up. Alex McCarthy. Wrong. I said team 2 because of Steph. Alex calling you out, Jay.
All right.
Wow.
I don't know about that. I think people in the chat were also saying you called them S tier, but I'll let it slide today, but you never know what I'm watching.
Cole Hauser for 2. How come ads can get a Meta PC and I live closer? But Canadians are gay, bro. I don't know. Did that ship to Canada? Is that true? Is that a reality? I don't know. Tomac for $20. So Jay, now that this game has been out for a while, have you had a chance to check out Captain Blood?
No, I haven't. Haven't been home, but did you like it, Tomac? I actually haven't really seen anybody saying it's a good game. Highly recommend. If you say that, like, let me know. Kind of waiting for that. I actually haven't played games in a minute, so I got to get back to. I didn't even play last night.
It's actually about a female pirate on her period. I think that'd be an interesting concept.
Tomac says it's a good time. All right. I trust your opinion, Tomac. I trust your opinion.
I think that'd be an interesting concept. I might check that out. Jay, you had a friend who got into a little bit of legal trouble recently.
A friend?
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about Martin?
Yeah, an acquaintance.
My friend Martin Kove. Yeah, he got a little bit in trouble for just casually biting people, apparently at a Comic-Con. A co-star. Do you want me to pull, pull that up, or do you
I'm gonna pull it up right here. But now I've never met Martin Kove. You've met Martin Kove
multiple times, yes.
When this, I mean, it's a wild story. Martin Kove accused of biting co-star, bit her so hard that he nearly drew blood, like all this stuff. I see that and I'm like, that's a crazy freaking story. Like how unbelievable this could have happened.
Yeah.
Jay, when you saw this story, what did you feel?
I quote tweeted and said, honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. From what I'm allowed to say about Comic-Con behavior from certain people, sometimes people show up, you know, they need something to take the edge off, you know.
Can I tell you what I would show up to like if I was doing this, what I would show up like? I'd be fucking blitzed out of my mind all the time, dude. I'd be blitzed out of my mind. I'd be taking shots before I get there. I'd have people bringing me drinks throughout, all that stuff. That's what, you know, me. I can't speak for anybody else, but that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah, and I'm not mentioning anyone's name, Martin Kove's name, or anything else. Like, so sometimes people do show up. They got to take the edge off. They're about to deal with a lot of high autism people that are constantly pulling at them and talking about them and all that stuff like that. So, and then sometimes, you know, they're a little stressed out in the back area room. Some crazy stories happen. Maybe one day I'll be able to share some of that, but this wasn't surprising to me one bit. Now, this video that was just released, it does look like he's had one too many, like the way he's talking and everything.
I do like just the caption of where we pause this. You cannot bite people is a very funny freeze frame. Very funny freeze frame.
They confronted him and recorded a video wanting an apology, apparently. So
like he's what? He's like 80 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
He's pretty. I can see a situation where he like whether he's inebriated or not, something got out of hand, like whatever, blah blah blah. But here's some of the video of this.
Cannot bite people. That is not okay.
That is assault.
And it's 100% up to her if she wants to pursue charges. I'd like to understand why you did that.
I apologize. I was just playing because we're very playful together, and I bit down too hard, and I meant to.
She's got a mouth mark on her.
He's slurring words too. Sorry.
Like that. I
apologize.
No, I am really pissed. You have left a mark on my body, which in your 80-year-old brain, you think is play. Sir, were you raised in a ditch? Is that how people treated you when you were a child? You yelled at me. The audacity.
The audacity, sir. How dare you yell at me after you bit me?
Dare you, sir? How dare you?
You definitely should not have done that when you are in the wrong.
I'm very sorry that I got angry because I was indulging in something improper by doing that, and I'm very sincerely sorry.
Now, I think the whole thing is more funny than it is anything else.
Yeah, same.
I think the entire situation is very funny, in fact, and I'm glad he didn't actually hurt her. I mean, hurt her, but not actually like drew blood or anything like that.
Were you raised in a ditch?
Were you raised in a ditch, sir? Yeah, I don't know if Martin Kove is going to be going to any more conventions with this person. What was her name again? I know the actress, but Alicia Hannah Kim, right? I know the person from Cobra Kai. Well, I don't know what her name actually was.
They bring in, you know, when they do these cons, they usually try to bring in like the whole crew because it makes more money for the convention. Because if you have, you know, stuff you want them to sign, you could pay to get everyone to sign it in one convention instead of like having to go and travel to other areas. That's why they try to push to have all the actors and the stars there, and then you could pay extra to get a group photo instead of a single photo with each one. So if the money's there, it'll they probably will definitely be at cons together if the money's there. But they'll
separate them, and yeah.
Some of the stuff that I've seen in the back is there are people that hate each other on the regular. They've worked on movies and shows together, but they legit hate each other, and they're very vocal about that. And so they will get assigned a security and a separate room, and the other person will also have like a monitor. Someone that monitors their behavior and put them in another room or another section, and they're completely separated until it's time to. It's crazy, you know. It's like, I hate that person. I never want to see that person. All right, we got to take photos. I love this guy, man. This guy's so great. I love, you know what I mean? It's like, it's like constant smiles and stuff like that. So,
and I think the reason that it kind of escalated to the point where they did get cops involved and everything is because, according to the reports of what happened, like she went up to talk to him. He fucking grabbed her arm and like bit her.
Yeah.
And then she's like screaming, she's like, "Ow, that hurts!" Like whatever. And then he started kissing her. I think because he was, oh, maybe I hurt her or whatever. And she's like, "What the fuck?" Her and her husband wanted to talk to him about what he just did. And according to the reports from around there, he got really fucking mad and was like, "We play all the time on the set of Cobra Kai. You think I did something wrong?" And he yelled at her, which is why I think the cops got involved.
And then they wanted to record the apology, I guess. So
Cobra Kai, bite first, bite hard, no mercy.
Martin Kove, like
if you see him at another convention, Jay, I want you to have a picture of him, have him sign one side of it, have him fucking bite the other. That's what I want you to do. Have him bite the picture so you get his teeth prints in there.
Man might punch me dead in the face. But Martin Kove's the kind of guy that goes backstage, and like if he wants to sit at a table, even though it's full of people, he'll just stand there and be like, "Can you get up?" Like, that's how he is. He's like, "Can you move? I want to sit here." That's how he is. And listen, there's a lot more rudeness that happens with some of these stars in the back than that. Like a lot more. It's but there's also a lot of great, friendly, happy people back there as well. But you kind of like, after doing it for like 2 years, you kind of are like, yeah, stay away from that guy. Don't talk to that guy. Get away from this one, you know. But Martin Kove is the kind of player, like if he wants a burrito, he's like, "I want a burrito." Well, we're not serving burritos. And he's like, "I'm not going to ask again." So
he embodies the character. He is John Kreese.
He plays it. He plays Kreese everywhere. He also he's the same character in Rambo 2. You know? The guy that's all like stand there like doesn't care what you say. Like, I'm in charge here. That's like all the characters he's ever played, right? So
I don't know much else that he's done, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I should do a tell-all. The life of Comic-Con. Be kind of funny.
I'd probably get sued.
Probably. That's why I was like, how much am I allowed to say here? But yeah, Martin Kove. He from what I hear though, he's pretty nice to the people in line wanting his picture and autographs. He's not like, there's some people they're like signing goes, right? So it's like you sit in line, you pay like whatever, $100, and they don't even like look at you. They just stand there. The guy next to him takes the picture, they sign it, and just move on. Like they don't say hi, they don't say nothing. We call them like they just sign and go. Next, sign, go. Doesn't interact.
Burn through their line.
And you got like people like, "Oh my God, you're my favorite actress," and whatever. Yeah, thanks. Like sign and go. Won't touch you, won't do anything. So, hey man, it's their choice, you know, it's their choice.
Mitchell Fields for 5J. He's in a wheelchair. You said let it slide. You mean let it roll? If you drift by?
Yeah, let it roll. You're right. Thanks for correcting me on that one.
Aaron James. These pretzels
are making me thirsty.
Jay Beck, Alex is a fraud. Screw him by using code Nerdrotic. No, don't use. Look, you can use whatever you want. I would prefer you use code RK Outpost, but you can use any of them.
That's funny.
Can you read this, Jay?
Nope. Jay, how about Sahara law? Authoritarianism. There we go. The Bernie Sanders word. Authoritarianism. It's the Bernie Sanders word. He says that every 5 minutes about Donald Trump.
Cole Hauser, Ryan, because you're white and cool, I'll let the gay cheap shot slip. You're still my rigga. Praise Allah. Thank you, Cole Hauser. Christian Rocker, after review, Alex said S tier team 2. Apologies. S tier team 2. There you go. Ranting Ryan. Jay, you said on Rebellion you were eliminating the 3PO email. Before you do that, don't forget you still have the email I sent you with a digital comic.
Oh, yeah. I plan on going through that this weekend, Ryan. Thanks for sending it over.
You're welcome. Stephen McBride for 2. He's old. Maybe she attacked him and he defended himself.
That could be a possibility.
Look, I find it fairly easy to believe that Martin Kove was messing around and it like in a way that he didn't realize was going to be so weird and probably bit down a little hard. And she's like, what the fuck did you just bit me? And things got a little out of hand. I don't think he meant to fucking hurt anybody. Like that's not what I feel about the situation. Tobias for 10. Want to say thanks for the 100 views on last night's stream. Seemed to pick up a bit after G&G's Mario Kart stream. Nearly 40 concurrent viewers. Hail the 199 in the GCA. Congratulations, Tobias. That's awesome.
It's a good feeling.
Sulla Felix for 2. Like John Voight in Seinfeld episode, he bit Kramer's arm.
Yeah.
Bro.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Yeah. Lord Slash for 5. He just wanted a meal. A succulent Chinese meal. This is Democracy Manifest. Or do you remember that clip?
A succulent Chinese meal.
That dude, they could not get enough cops to get that dude in the fucking car.
Yeah.
And it ended up being like, it was a case of like mistaken identity. He shouldn't have been arrested or anything. Yeah.
According to the media.
Cole Hauser reminds me of Joe Namath drunk.
Oh, he's like, wasn't he's like, he's trying to kiss the reporter. They were trying to ask Joe Namath about like some football analyst. He's like, I don't care about them. I just want to kiss you. Like, live. Was that live?
Broadway Joe. When I got a picture with William Shatner, it was a sign and go. For $50 from Hayden Wayne, by the way. Thank you for the big $50, Hayden. I was told, do not get too close, do not touch him. I walked up, he said hello, we took the picture, and I was ushered out. I was fine with it. If anybody can do that, it's the Shat. I do remember like in the COVID time frame as well, and in the aftermath of that, there were people that took it a little more seriously about staying a little bit further apart. And especially when it comes to old people who, fuck, you sneeze on them, they could die or whatever. It's kind of understandable.
During the COVID era, they actually put a plastic wall for the pictures. And some people still decided they want to use that today. So also, Hayden Wayne laughed at my stock pick. That's all I'm saying. He laughed at my stock pick earlier this week, and then he shamed me about my stock pick. But if you look at it today, Hayden, if you look at it today, someone was wrong. Someone was right. That's all I'm saying. Not financial advice. Don't listen to anything I say.
The way Hayden's dropping $50 bombs all the time, I'll listen to him for financial advice.
That's the best thing to do.
Thundarius for 5. My Norfolka reaction on Cyber Skull Media crossed 1,000 views last night. Too bad Jay will never watch it. The most comprehensive reaction on YouTube. Wow.
You want me to watch it?
Too bad Jay will never watch it. Is all he said. He didn't say he wants you to.
Oh, okay.
So it's too bad you don't. Antoine Haynes for 199. Jay, I'm still waiting for you to book your interview.
Oh, yes. We got to get that done. I'm so sorry, man. Traveling and everything. You're absolutely right.
A bub for $2. Meta PC code Leighton Gay over on Rumble. Oh, thank you. Thank you, a bub. And then Switzerland Play It with the raid over on Rumble. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Jay, don't you have some park story or some shit?
Yes. This is probably the weirdest, craziest theme park story. And hopefully it's the last one that we'll have to do when something like, anyway, this is bizarre. Hope we never have to do a story like this about a theme park ever again. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat here. 39-year-old man arrested for organizing a wedding with a 9-year-old girl at Disneyland Paris, all right, over there in Paris. This story is crazy, Ryan. It makes no sense. I don't understand this, but we'll get into it. But in the quick, this guy rented out Disneyland Paris for like $15,000 to what he is saying was a fake wedding, all right? He paid for actors to play guests, to play part of the wedding. And when cast members finally found out that he was actually marrying a 9-year-old, which he said was a joke, they quickly called the authorities. But this isn't the first time that this individual has done things like that. 39-year-old British man was arrested at Disneyland Paris last week for trying to have a mock wedding with a 9-year-old Ukrainian girl as his bride.
I do. As soon as I saw the headlines that all said British man arrested for trying to marry a 9-year-old girl, I immediately thought to myself, what comes to mind when you think of British man? Well, like when you say the word British man, what image jumps into your mind? Because I know it was a leap, but I thought to myself, you know what? Probably doesn't look like a British man that we would think about. And it turns out it's a guy, I think he's got an Indian last name. He looks like he's actually of Arab descent. So then I thought, okay, I get why they're saying British man now in the media.
I'm just trying to be a little YouTube friendly, I guess, in some of the verbiage. The man, Jackie, I don't know how to say that last name.
Josh? I don't know.
Jackie Haji, I don't know, is a convicted offender in the UK and was wanted for breaching requirements. So I don't know how Disney just let, without checking his background or whatever. On Saturday, June 21st, Disneyland Paris cast members was alerted by a guest who had been paid $14,000 to play the father of the bride, but realized at the last minute that the bride was a child. A 9-year-old girl is a Ukrainian national and had arrived in France with her 41-year-old mother 2 days before the wedding, according to statement by, how do you say that? Prosecutor Jean Baptiste. The girl had not been a victim of physical or sexual violence and has not been forced to play the role of the bride, according to the BBC. Bladier said the wedding was fictional and meant to be recorded in a private capacity. So this guy used a fake Latvian, I believe I said that right, ID to rent Disneyland Paris for several hours. Where's this guy getting this kind of money?
Yeah, so this guy is a convicted pedo in the UK from, I think, like 10 years, maybe 2016, somewhere around that time frame. He got in trouble again. This guy has a lot of money. In 2023 or something, he got in trouble for hiring like a couple hundred kids to pretend like they were fans of his at some fake red carpet movie premiere. Where
he hired hundreds of children, some as young as 6, through casting agencies to play his fans at a fake film premiere in London Square in 2023. You're correct.
Yeah, so it's a very weird story. And because the story is so weird, who knows if he was actually like planning to officially marry, if this was actually going to be like a real like marriage thing, or if he was using it for another one of these weird schemes. I don't know. This dude's a weirdo. You asked why it wouldn't red flag. He used a fake ID, obviously, which is why it wouldn't red flag. But apparently the actor who was hired to play the father of the bride, when the bride showed up and it was like a 9-year-old, he's like, something weird is going on. And he's the one that tipped everybody off, thankfully.
Correct. He has been,
how weird.
He's been arrested. So were a couple other people. And that's all we have on this story so far. So the fact that, the man rented out Disneyland Paris, that ain't cheap, paid $14,000 for actors to be in this fake wedding. He's done this before. And maybe, hopefully, it is France. I don't know. Maybe like this will be the end of all this stuff and he gets put in jail where he belongs. So disgusting, terrible story coming out of the theme park world in Disneyland Paris.
The most magical place on earth. Have you ever been to Disneyland Paris?
Never. I have like no desire to go to France or any of those places, but Latvia, the country of Latvian. Have you ever been there?
Latvia?
Yeah.
I cannot say I've ever been to Latvia. No.
Is that a good vacation area to go? Never heard of anybody vacationing over there.
I don't know. It's right around Lithuania, I suppose. But I can't say that I've ever been to Latvia, nor have any intention necessarily to go to Latvia. I bet there's a lot of great Latvians around, though. You know, I bet some Latvians watch the channel. Don't you think?
Maybe, yeah.
Have to.
Is that someone said that Dr. Doom is the ruler? He's the ruler of that country? Oh.
See?
Makes sense. Makes sense to me.
Come on. Gotta love the Latvians.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did want to talk about a new clip from Superman, Jay.
I saw that.
New clip from Superman that has caused a lot of discussion and talk. Now, we're only a few weeks away from the release of James Gunn's Superman, and we're starting to see some of the early screenings. I think they did a screening the first 30 minutes in Brazil a couple days ago, and then apparently yesterday, a bunch of influencers and some ranging from very big, movie reviewers and very, very small, just like Twitter accounts that love James Gunn's Superman or hyping James Gunn's Superman. They got invited. All of everybody who went to one of these things that said anything is basically like, this is amazing. This is awesome. You guys are going to be blown away. But of course, they can't really go in any details, whatever. So a lot of these reactions are overwhelmingly positive for James Gunn's Superman. But we got another clip yesterday of a clip of Superman confronting Lex Luthor that has a lot of people engaged in the discussion about whether they like this iteration of Superman or not. Let's let this thing play.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be...
Lex, I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Mother. Superman, we finally meet. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Dog?
The dog, loser! You took the dog!
That's right, you get all of this.
Where's the dog?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
He's just a dog.
I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog and cape.
What did you say?
What did he say?
He said ugly dog in a cape when he put the thing to his mouth. What's your take on this, Jay? What's your initial reaction of seeing this clip of Superman?
I don't think that's Superman at all. Superman losing is cool like that and screaming and yelling and like throwing a fit. That just doesn't seem like Superman to me. That does seem like Lex Luthor, just calm and collective and like seemingly having everything under control. It does look like he's wanting the secretary to record Superman throwing a fit, because that goes into line with some of the earlier reports we saw that Luthor does some kind of social media campaign to like damage Superman's credibility. So maybe that's how it all plays in. He captures Crypto, gets Superman to react and puts it on social media, and now Superman's the bad guy with a funny hashtag. So that's my first take on that.
So a lot of it is obviously based on, Superman screaming and angry and upset and all of this stuff. And it's combined with other things we've seen, including some of the stuff we saw with him and Lois, where he's kind of like screaming at Lois because he's frustrated.
Yeah.
Look, this obviously, the way I view it, if this is Superman through this entire thing, people are not going to be fucking happy with this movie at all. I would hope that that's not the way it is, because Superman losing his cool, losing his temper, getting out of control, shit like this, that is problematic if that is your iteration of Superman. So I think that's why you're seeing so much controversy surrounding it. The way I view this clip, I'm glad you brought up that about Lex, because to me, clearly what Lex is out to do is destroy Superman's reputation.
Yeah.
And from the way he's acting, and even to knowing that Superman's about to toss his fucking desk and grabbing his coffee cup right before, very calmly, knowing that Superman can't fucking hit him. He can't actually do anything. And if he did, as long as he didn't die, that would be exactly something he would want to get on camera.
Yeah.
Right. But I totally understand why people feel like this Superman being extremely emotional and volatile, and so much of him screaming and seemingly, letting his temper get the best of him. I totally understand why people are being highly critical of that.
Let me just say this. This is what we've seen from the trailers. We've seen a Superman that is constantly beat up, constantly just getting knocked around. We've seen Superman that is hated by everyone, and this is just the teaser trailers. We've seen him lose, like you said, when he's doing an interview with Lois. He looks like he's losing his cool with some of the questions. And now we see another clip of him being very frustrated. And honestly, if Superman tossed a table, it probably should have, flown out the window if he was angry and losing his cool. So, but those are little details, but that's all we've seen. And then the one scene where he's flying and his eyes are all crossed and he does a little flip-a-rooney, they just said they took that out of the movie. They took that out of the movie and fixed his cross-eyed eyes, apparently. So it's that for a lot of people, including myself, that's not really Superman. Just constantly defeated throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, and obviously with the camera and everything, the social media, whatever, this is exactly what Lex Luthor wants to happen.
Yeah.
We'll have to see the whole movie in context, but based on the stuff that we had heard, that's what it feels like. But I totally understand where people are coming from about Superman as a character and seeing so much of this aspect through what we've seen so far. Because you're using this to promote your movie, There's still, I've yet to see anything from when it comes to the Superman marketing that makes me feel like, oh God, I'm really fucking excited for this. To me, it looks very meh. I guess I don't have the hatred towards this scene. I certainly have concern about, is this going to be Superman through the entire way? Or are we just seeing him at a couple moments where he does lose his cool type of thing? But yeah, a lot of people discussing this clip, and I think understandably so.
Yeah, I agree. I do see someone in the chat. They're like, listening to Jay's Superman take is hard to listen because he apparently has never read. Right? I guess you're saying I've never read the Superman comics. That is 100% correct. I never read the Superman comics. And if you're making a film to just appease the people that have read the comics, you're going to fail. I'm sorry. You have to have a worldwide appeal to make these movies profitable. Not just super you can't expect everyone to read the comics to enjoy a movie, because they take a lot of things from the comics, but they don't exactly put it on the screen the way it's supposed to be. I mean, for one, look at Thanos.
I think you're saying different things here, right? You 100% can change things and have it be successful. However, what we've seen constantly over the past several years and the continued failure and the decline of a lot of these movies is that you have a baseline with the comics, stories and characters that have existed for decades and decades and decades, right? That is what you should pull from. when you're making these things. Now,
Yeah,
you're right. You
that's
need
where I
more
was
than just
getting from.
comic book readers to watch this to make it a success. But if you lose your way from that too much, you will lose everybody.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you just appease to comic book readers alone, and you're not gonna, people will be just as confused. Like someone like me that hasn't read the Superman comics, I see these clips in my mind that doesn't look like Superman to me. So people will get upset that read the comics. Well, you never read the comics. Well, that's right. Because if you want my money, you've got to do something to make me want to go watch the film. And right now, those clips that they put out, all I see is Superman beat up. All I see him is getting frustrated and losing his temper. So I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, that's comic book accurate Superman, so I'll go see the film because I've never read the comics. That's just how it is. So that's where I was going with that. I mean, like, you see how they changed Thanos from the comics into the movie, completely different character. And I actually like MCU Thanos better than I liked him in the comic books. That's just me, but that's just my opinion. I don't have to agree with it. But if they're making a Superman that is weak, that loses his temper, that is very different than what a lot of people feel and think what Superman is, then they're not going to go watch this movie. They're not going to like it. So
there's also a big difference between, say, Thanos and a character like Superman, and say
huge.
Guardians of the Galaxy and a character like Superman.
Huge,
right? When you're talking about how long those characters have been around, how many people know that name and is immediately recognizable, and they can understand what Superman is and who Superman is and what he's supposed to represent. There's a big difference between that and some other comic book characters that have been used, and basically every other comic book character that's been utilized in its history.
100%.
100%.
I mean, even if you compare it to like Star Wars and like how they just steal small pieces from the EU to put in their stories and completely make it worse. You know, and I think like in Star Wars, if they had just taken the books from the EU, and even though I haven't read all of them like you have, but if they had just stuck with that story blueprint, it would have been a lot better than the crap that we have now. So
I can definitely agree with that. However, some of the same people were involved. It probably just ended up being a shit show too.
Agreed.
Sir Hat for 5. I only have one autograph, and it's from Adam West. It was the last day of BACC, and I got to talk to him for like half an hour. He signed it for free. That's cool.
That's pretty
Adam
awesome.
West. Random commenter. Have y'all seen the commotion about Giant Lands, a game that features a future with no USA and no white people?
I'm not.
I actually do think I saw that rolling around. Like, apparently the creator of it, some flaming dude, put like a video complaining out and got absolutely annihilated. I think that's what that was about. Maybe. Slick Rick for 2. Dude belongs in a wood chipper. Paper Liger right on the Eiffel Tower is a super interesting mosaic. Okay. Delta Entertainment for $50. Linko Kenobi. What's up, guys? I'll be watching Superman on the Tuesday night sneak peek. Hope it's good, but a bit concerned. I'll give my honest review of the movie, but with no spoilers. Happy belated birthday, Jay. What's up, Ryan? What's
It's
up,
not
Linko?
my birthday. I appreciate the birthday wishes, but it's not my birthday. That was just Jeremy and Krista having a spin of yarn at my expense.
There you go. Well, thanks, Linko. I hope you enjoyed too. I think I'll also be seeing it on one of the Thursday or Tuesday early ones. Naggardnall for 5. There's a demo for Captain Blood. I played it and enjoyed it, but it's very much just a PS3 God of War game with just pirates instead of Greek gods. Man, it sounds fun. Eric K for 2. White Lab Lives Matter. No to an ugly gun dog. Yeah, Lex Luthor called the dog. I'm feeling better about Lex Luthor in this movie. The fact that he called that dog ugly. They are 100% going to use crypto to get people to hate Lex Luthor. You know what I mean?
That's a good thing though.
Like that is
because that's perfect.
The worst thing, one of the worst things imaginable. It doesn't matter how many people you kill or murder or anything like this. If you hurt a fucking animal, people
Especially
are not gonna
cute
like
dog.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. People, even a fake CGI dog, people are not gonna like that.
Not at all.
Andre, where's the dog? Equals where's the trigger? Tobias, did Gunn accidentally make his John Wick parody film into a Superman film and just get in so deep he couldn't stop it? Is this another Joss Whedon Aliens 4 script thing? This can't be a real scene. Well, it is a real scene. I've seen a lot of people reacting to it like, well, how would you react if somebody took your dog? It's like, well, yeah, but that is the point. Superman is not supposed to be Superman is supposed to be better, right? Now that doesn't mean that he can't have moments where he does get frustrated, where he does accidentally something. That can't mean that, right? But it's understandable to criticize the type of Superman we're getting from what we've been shown so far. And that's the key. It's what we've been shown. Like, for instance, I don't have a massive problem in isolation with him getting upset with Lois, because that is a person he should be able to reveal his frustrations to. Somebody who, one of the only people who knows him and knows what he's going through and can get stuff off his chest, and she can be there to support him and reassure him and all this stuff. I'm okay with that in isolation, depending on the context. In this one, clearly Lex Luthor's trying to portray Superman in a way he doesn't want to be portrayed and capture him on camera doing these things. And maybe he's falling for it. And maybe, if it's explained right in isolation, I could be okay with that. If this is the Superman we get throughout the entire thing, there's going to be a massive problem. There's no doubt about that. Manic Pixie Fangirl. This is Superboy, not Superman. All this juvenile behavior from Clark is annoying. Dean Cain's portrayal is how Clark should act, a grown adult. Did you like Dean Cain's Superman?
I thought it was great. Terry Hatcher too.
Mm-hmm.
She was
Infamous.
Great as well.
Have you ever played Beaten Lion King for Super Nintendo?
No, I hear it's a very difficult game though.
I had a handheld Lion King game. You know when they used to just sell those they were little squares, they had the controls on it, and it was just one game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to have a couple of those, and I had a Lion King one. I used to play the shit out of that. And it was so, you'd see a bug coming this way, and it would move to here, move to here, move to here. You'd have to dodge around where you thought it was going to go.
It's basically like Frogger.
Kind of.
Yeah. Also, have you heard the horrific reviews coming out of Jurassic World? Horrible.
I've heard some people absolutely hate it.
It's rough. My prediction might I have to hold strong, but it might not stand. I was like, here's
my whole thing with it. Jurassic World Dominion was trash. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was trash.
Correct.
Both those movies were absolutely hot garbage. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Jurassic World, the first Jurassic World was okay. So I guess that's where I'm at with it. I would have been shocked if people had come out and been like, Jurassic World Rebirth, it's fucking art, bro. It's amazing. I would have been shocked if that was the case.
I just thought they would do, if someone came to me, which they never will, and were like, we want you to make a dinosaur film, I just keep the script, man. Keep it simple. Bunch of people running, getting eaten by dinosaurs. They figure out, keep it action, just a big action flick of them running for an hour and a half. And then getting rescued at the end. They don't even have to figure out how to kill them, but just trying to figure out how to survive. That's it. Wouldn't need anything special else in there. Apparently, this is the mutant dinosaurs that they were trying to create something cool, and they messed up, and so they just dumped them all off on this island. So You get the different levels of the mutated dinosaurs. That's what's going on here.
Demaj and I hope you gentlemen are doing well. Hail chat. Also, I have the perfect place for that person at Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
Shungokatsu instant hell murder.
What's up, D?
What's up, Demaj and I? Hope I pronounced that right. Shungokatsu. Sir Link for 10. I think Gunn doesn't really know how to do Superman film, but he knows the majority of people care for pets and can relate. So he's hinging everything on that since it's something he can do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's all about crypto. You know what I'm all about? I'm all about Ironheart, Jay.
I'm so happy.
Ironheart's finally here, Jay. We've been waiting for this moment for a long time. And the thing that is going to bring Marvel back, baby, it is 100% Ironheart and Riri Williams. Even if those critics are split, I don't care. This thing is going to be absolutely amazing. Did you watch the first 3 episodes?
No, absolutely not.
I did.
I'm going to wait for the whole 6-pack special.
Well, you don't have to wait very long. I did watch the first 3 episodes, and I got to say, I'm getting exactly what I expected based off of the marketing, based off some of the trailers. And one thing I will say, we get way more of the crime crew than I was ever expecting. This is the crew that Riri Williams commits crimes with. They steal from the rich to give to themselves. I know it's very honorable. But there's the transgender, non-binary, trans masculine, whatever they describe themselves as. There's the drag queen. You get to spend a lot of time with these characters, and they are annoying as shit. So the drag queen will not shut up. And this is an actual line. This is from the hood, and he's being very serious. And he says it a couple times throughout these episodes about how attractive and pretty everybody looks here. This might be the prettiest group of washed up criminals I ever saw. And don't know if that's
great.
Maybe he hasn't seen many groups of washed up criminals. Riri Williams is insufferable. She's all about me, all about people, seeing her and respecting her and being better than all these other people. I'm a genius, but nobody actually recognizes me for it. And I got to build this suit so people know. It's rough.
Can I ask a question? Has Mephisto made an appearance yet?
He will make an appearance, I believe, next week, but they have certainly been teasing a Mephisto-like character that is involved in some way, right? But no, in terms of, we have not seen Mephisto. We've heard a couple whispers here and there. The hood is working with some kind of entity or spirit or something like that, but we will get that reveal next week for sure.
Nice. Of all shows and movies to put him in, this is the one. This is the one that they green lighted.
Look, Riri Williams. It's not enough that she has an Iron Man suit. She also needs magic.
Did she steal that Iron Man suit?
She actually. So look, she was working at MIT. She got the Stark. Basically, she had this big. She had a big grant that she could work with there. She got handed all of these things because she was so smart and people wanted her to succeed, but she didn't do what she was supposed to do. She got caught up in doing other things. And she ended up getting kicked out of MIT for selling homework to other people and at other schools and stuff like that. So she stole the Iron Man suit that she made while she was at MIT on her way out and back to Chicago. And also, it doesn't need an arc reactor. It's solar powered and wind powered, Jay.
Solar powered.
Yeah. It is.
I thank you for your sacrifice, good sir.
You're welcome.
The more people talk about it, the more I don't even want to waste oxygen on this show.
I'm having more fun with this one than any other Marvel release so far this year. Riri Williams, they're trying to have it a couple ways, and they throw in these little things. They throw in 1 or 2 lines about her wanting to help people, but unfortunately, that's negated by the dozens and dozens of times that she shows clearly she's in this so that people recognize her. It's very selfish reasons. And they want to pretend like, well, she just got drawn into this life of crime and these criminals so she could get the suit done. But really, her plan before she met up with them was to find work at another big lab in the area that was big enough that they wouldn't notice when she stole stuff to build her suit with. Right? So she is a criminal. They want to pretend like she's feeling uncomfortable with it now, but one of the interesting things as well is how this has been received over on IMDb. It's at a 4.1 out of 10. Not great. A lot of 10s. A lot of 1s as well. And of course, that's described as review bombing. Review bombing of Ironheart on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes, a little bit different story, despite initial Rotten Tomatoes being in the 30s. Overnight, after it premiered, a lot of those magically got removed. I know it's crazy, Jay.
Really?
A lot of them magically got removed, and now we're sitting here at 64%. And I thought, why not? We can go through some of these. We can take a look. This guy, no name, 4 stars. Shows off to a really good start. Great acting, visual, strong character development. Looking for the rest of the episodes. All right. What about Reinhardt? First 3 episodes and I'm hooked. The show's lit.
Lit.
Let's look at Reinhardt. Oh, well, he's reviewed Ironheart. I hadn't reviewed anything else. Well, I mean, that's strange, but sure we'll have some others. Curvains, solid first 3 episodes. Dominique Thorne showing range as an actor juggling so much as Riri Williams. I'm so interested in the Hood story, all this stuff. Oh, man, that's wild.
Great.
Never rated anything before.
Never.
What about Tony? Excellent. Writing, acting, the graphics. Everything's awesome. Everything is awesome. What about you,
No profile
Tony?
picture.
Man, how are all this is the only thing they've rated. That's strange.
Hey,
Riri Williams till I die.
They must have loved this show so much that they decided to create an account and get over there.
That's wild. But somehow, right? Where are the articles about, look, there's review boosting. There's people that are clearly just going. There's not, because it only goes one way. It only goes one way when it comes to review bombing. And the review bombing's happening because people are just so racist out there, but nothing about people that could be potentially review boosting. Like, I think every single thing that comes out, there's going to be some people that go to a page that didn't actually watch it and give it a 1 star. I also think you're going to have people that are desperately trying to counter the narrative that go and give it a 5 star, a 10 star, whether it's deserving or not. That is going to happen with basically all of these releases. Some of them get more attention than others, but it's just so funny how it gets portrayed across these different sites and the different reactions.
If you care, let's go to the one site that actually matters. I'm going to add this to the stage if you don't mind.
Critic list?
Let's go to Critic list. Ironheart Critic list. It's sitting at 14%. There you go. Are all these people taking time out of their day to review bomb this? I mean, there's someone gave it a 100. So there you go. Banjo Sandwich gave it 100. There's Jonas. There's Sevi. There's a couple others. I think Alex, our own Alex, there he is. He gave it a 0.
Whoa, Alex.
He writes, the F did I just watch? A couple of 0s, a 1, head on over to Critic list. Here we go. We got a 29. I've seen all 6 episodes of Ironheart, and it's not good. There you go. Head on over to Critic list. Shout out.
Yeah, one of the problems is there's no characters that are really likable in it so far for me. And I think they added some of these little lines about Riri randomly saying every once in a while, I want to help people. But that's not throughout the rest of the thing. It is very much incredibly selfish and all about her and her status and her being recognized, her building something iconic. And to do that, she needs money, money, money. There's even a couple lines in there about Tony Stark and how, well, look, he contributed a lot to the field, so I won't rip on him straight out of the gate. But I don't have $1 billion. Tony Stark had all the money in the world to do what he did. I don't have that. It's like this motherfucker in some goat fucker's cave being held hostage by terrorists made the first Iron Man suit. You got to join up with thieves. Crime Time.
Sounds like a great, entertaining show for the entire family.
Yep. Delta Entertainment, Linko Kenobi. If you guys ever saw Mysterious Island, they should do a remake of that movie.
Never saw that one.
Tobias, they haven't been able to recreate the original Jurassic Park because they changed its genre. The original is sort of sci-fi horror with dinosaurs being a threat, not just the set dressing like new ones. I agree, and there was some things that made me think maybe they could get back to a little more of the horror elements in this one.
I think so.
Based on some reviews we've seen, it's been incredibly mixed. A lot of bad reviews out there for Jurassic World Rebirth. Christian Rocker for 199. Best Ironheart line. Hey, black people. Actually true. Actually true.
Wow.
Irish Skywalker. I hate to say it, but that trans in the tank top looks like Dan Vasc. B Plane for 5. Hi guys, I was wondering how come IGN gave a 9 to 28 years later when UNFNT trashed it so hard. Is it that bad? Cheers from Spain.
I didn't see it.
I mean, people disagree on things. Look, not everybody didn't like it. I think Gary really liked 28 years later. But no, I have no control over who from IGN reviews something. I came out of it thinking that there are going to be some people that absolutely love it and some people that hated what they got. So far, that's what I feel some of the reactions have been. You've got some people that love the film and you got some people that really, really don't like it. I'm one of the people that really don't like it. That doesn't mean that everybody doesn't always have to fucking agree on everything. Like, in fact, they don't. It's impossible. Super Mastermind. Troy Hertubis invented the bear-proof armor suit. Chad Admiral Thrawn. Wait a minute. A show about blacks and figs that commits crime and are working with Marvel version of the devil. Seems about right. Thanks, Chad Admiral Thrawn. Iconic that we got another Thanos was right reference in the first episode of Ironheart by a black protester in Chicago when Riri was flying past. Carly went to MIT and she repaired Autobots. +1.
That's true.
Demaj and I for $2 says I couldn't give less than a fuck about fake Iron Man. Over on Rumble, you Cupid stunt. It was a practice wedding because he couldn't smuggle a goat in. And then he says, filthy cunt. Thank you. Derek PG Beller for 1. The moral of Ironheart, black people steal because they're victims and that makes them heroes. There's a lot of strange messaging like that in here. When it's like, you had everything, you had all this, I don't get that. You get to have this, I don't get to have that. And the insistence that, like, it's not her fault, it's just because of this, and everyone's kind of out to get her. And I think there are ways that you could rearrange some elements of Ironheart to make it better and make when we get probably at the end and she's going to turn against these people or whatever. And you can make that actually valuable, her coming to this realization, her getting caught up in something and, you know, realizing that it's the wrong thing. But I just don't know if they're going to pull it off very well. But Jay, we're all actually Ninroku for $1 over on Rumble or over on Locals. Superman needs to act like one. When Nolan's Batman yelled at Joker, he was intimidating. Gunn Superman had the opposite effect to me in that clip. There you go. Well, now we are caught up. Jay, what do you got going on?
Another Thursday in the books. I'm keep working on those comic review videos on the channel. I appreciate everybody that's checking them out over on Drunk 3PO. And there is a chance that we might have a park hopping live stream somewhere, depending on the weather. So we're looking to get out there this week from the park and go live from a park. So we'll see. So that's what I got. But it's been kind of hot here, but still, that's not going to stop us.
Well, it's been hot everywhere.
That is true. That is true.
Everywhere. Gavin Free None for 5. I can tell this is the ladies' favorite panel. Depends on the ladies, I suppose.
Yep.
But yes, that is it. I saw Jessica just drop the Uncle IDOT merch, 4th of July. Go check it out. Get your Uncle IDOT shirt over on Spring. Links in the description. And we'll be back tomorrow, where Jay may or may not be here the entire time and may or may not get his windshield replaced. We shall see. All right, guys. That's it for us. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.